In the Round is all about highlighting musicians on their music journey. Whether they're local, regional, or touring coast to coast, they all have great stories to tell. We're looking for the stories that allow us to get to know them in a different light. The funny, the heartwarming, all the lows and highs, and of course the music that was born from that journey. Hey, I'm Dee, I'm a musician, I'm a music lover, and I'm your host. Let's jump right in.
Just chatting.
Yeah, just chatting. Cash, super cash. I do have to say, I'm in the round with Good Morning Midnight. Welcome. We're
Hi.
so glad.
Thanks.
You
Thanks for
nailed
the
it.
warm welcome.
So glad that you could come by the studio. You guys just ripped Lucky Penny live in Studio D, and it's so good. It was so good. I'm trying to play it really cool because I'm actually just such a big fan of this project.
We're big fans of you. So
Oh, thanks. Yeah. Wait. Everyone want to do like a freeze moment? No, I'm just kidding. But yes. So we have Charlie, we have Sarah, we have Jonah, we have Joran, who's a Des Moiner, but the rest of you are up in Minneapolis now. Yes.
correct. That is true. That is a
So
true
Iowa
statement.
transplants. So, but are you Minnesota?
I'm from Indianola.
Oh, Indianola.
Yeah, local
Oh,
515. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. I live on the south side, so I feel akin to Indianola. No, I'm just kidding. That's awesome. So yeah, so you all ended up, except for Jordan, he's still here with us,
Still
which
here.
is great.
Never left.
I will say every time I see a band snag Jordan, I'm like, oh, those lucky people.
Maybe.
Like, it's so awesome that you play with them, and you were drumming today, but I've also seen you play guitar with them, so you're
Yeah.
just all over the place. It's
Whatever.
great.
Yeah, we're lucky bastards. We have Jordan.
Totally. Well, and that's what I love about this project, Charlie, is I've seen you play. There's so many different iterations of you. I've seen you play solo. I've seen you, I feel like, up to a 5-6 person group. I mean, you have this like revolving cast of characters that play with you. But there's this core too that exists and really comes through. But there's like a versatility in what you do because of that. So there's consistency of quality, but just like versatility of sound, and it just gets bigger and better,
Thanks.
with more people. But I love seeing you play solo. I love it. It's great.
Thanks.
Yeah.
Haven't done it in a while.
Yeah, it's been a minute. I feel like that was like our Cedar Falls show because everyone got
yeah.
COVID and
Yeah.
classic.
Yeah.
I feel like everyone's had that happen. But
Yeah. Sarah was there
yes.
selling merch.
Yes. No, you were right. Yeah, you're right.
think you guys met there.
Yeah, that was the first time we met. Yeah, I think what makes it so impactful when you're playing solo or with a band is your writing is so good, and that comes through, whatever iteration of the group that you have. Yeah, absolutely. This is my job today. It's just a fangirl over you. So you just gotta take it.
Wait,
all right.
Can you say that? Well, I didn't hear you. Can you say that one more time?
Just fangirling over Good Morning Midnight out of Minneapolis, Minnesota. So I have, just for our listeners who maybe don't know your band as well as I do, what I love is the kind of the quotes of what your sound is: a cacophony and hushed tones, homegrown Midwestern indie rock. I wrote down vibey, combo of shadows and light. I feel like you really explore the corners of that. You also had a great quote that called it I-80 emo, which I really loved.
You dug. That was a long time ago.
Yeah.
That
I know, but I feel
yeah.
like it still resonates
Yeah.
because you've got this like punkness to you, and even like touches of metal I hear sometimes in there, and then, but it's still like got these folk roots. I feel like in that same article, or maybe a different one, you were like, I always start folky and it comes out like Nirvana.
Yeah. I think that's still true.
Yeah. But it's great. It makes it unique. I mean, to me, you're reminiscent of the Shins, Neutral Milk Hotel, but also like Titus Andronicus. And I heard a lot of different sounds. And I know you mentioned like Yo La Tengo and Pavement and Modest Mouse as being some influences maybe, but it's uniquely you. Like
Thanks.
I was actually texting Ty. I was like, my mind's blanking. Who do they sound like? And he's like, no one. And I'm like, I know. It's so great. You've got this singular sound, but
That's a huge compliment. Thank you.
I think you do it so well, and you've been extremely prolific also since 2017, right? Debut album came out. That one's Basket of Flowers.
Which Joran played drums on.
No.
So he's
Yeah, I played on the first 2 records. Yeah.
What?
Yeah,
Oh my gosh.
Charlie and I met in his high school band, Grand Champ.
with
Yes. Shout out.
Andrew Jones of Zaptura.
Yeah,
Right.
who I've also played
Shout
drums
out
for.
to you.
Yes. Yeah, it was after. It was amazing.
Yes.
Phil was giving me
We
this
love that.
background because I feel like he was also. Did he record you or something crazy? I don't know. There was like a whole.
Well, I mean, Phil was with us in Zaptura, but I don't know if you recorded with.
No,
Not
I've,
with-
I've
with
done
me, I did
everything
it.
at Flat Black Studios.
Yeah,
with
right,
Luke
that's
Tweedy
right,
and Dana
Yeah.
T.
I just thought he remembered. He was like Grand Champ and Zaptur. Like we were doing the connections game. We joked at that like meme with Charlie from Always Sunny, like with all the string and pointing.
yeah.
We're like we could do that. I feel like with all the Iowa bands.
Yeah.
It's true.
Yeah. Yeah, it's amazing. But so what's interesting then, so you've seen this probably, just the progression of sound. The first album was a little folkier, a little like sparser maybe. And then I feel like the most recent release, All the Birdsmen, it's just, again, the cacophony, like absolutely, but just in the most beautiful way. And your guitar tones, like hearing you today in Studio D, which is a really beautiful space to hear you in because of the sound deadening, just hearing everything that you're doing, Jonah, your tone, like, oh man. And it just fits so well with what Charlie's doing. I need to
Our
ask,
guitars
like,
kiss.
I was
when we're
gonna
not looking.
say, what? Yeah, they do. They make out.
Yeah.
It's beautiful to watch, really. No, but what's like some pedals, like what's on top on your list, or is there a brand, like are you Chase Bliss people, or like what was on that?
I would love to be
board?
a Chase Bliss person, but
That's for a certain tax
We're going for
bracket.
sponsorship here.
Yeah.
So. No,
I use a Metaverse, 2 Metaverse pedals a lot, and they're I think in like Eau Claire, so
Oh,
closer
cool.
to
Yeah.
Minnesota. But yeah, I feel like that was kind of the sauce today.
yeah.
maybe.
Oh gosh, it was gorgeous sauce. Loved it. And what
On the
about you?
topic of regional companies, I use a couple Henrietta engineering pedals. They're out of St. Paul.
Oh, cool.
One of them is like always on, so it's pretty important, central to the sound.
Yeah.
But
Oh, that's
yeah.
great.
What's the other one
amazing.
called?
the Tone Blaster,
Kind of.
it.
that's the sensor. No, it's
That's
called
the-
the Chode Blaster. Actually,
Oh god, that's so good.
yeah, it is.
You know how there's
Yes.
like, you want the job of the person writing the Hallmark cards, like I want to name pedals, right? Like I feel like that's a whole job that I would want to do.
Yeah,
great.
yeah. I was like kind of conflicted about having like a penis joke
Yeah.
pedal on my board, but it sounds great. So
Just lean it. Yeah, you
I don't
can't.
know.
No, I truly like, that's something that stands out to me about Good Morning Midnight is the guitar tones. Just they make me close my eyes when I listen to you. Like but then I want to watch you, so it's constant blinking. But seeing you play live, like the way you're able to translate it from the record to live is really impressive, and that's dialing in tones. Like I'm sure hours of doing that and really feeling that out, and it comes through.
Yeah, I've definitely like been on I don't know,
Tone
quest?
eternal
Yeah.
tone quest.
I get
With Joran is-
about
That's for the
30 to 40 texts from Charlie a day
At least.
about there's been no form of therapy quite like the both of us talking
Yeah.
about
I don't know if it's
anything in the guitar universe,
Yeah.
possibly.
Yeah.
I don't know, day in and day out.
Right. Yeah, gearheads, like you can go.
It's awful.
deep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's therapeutic or if it causes us to need
Causes
therapy.
therapy.
But
Yeah. Oh my
maybe
God.
both.
Wait. Speaking of which, you had a great quote about working at Record Collector in Iowa City because you from Des Moines.
Yeah.
From Des Moines, lived in Iowa City. Now you're up in Minneapolis,
Yes.
but you worked at Record Collector and you mentioned that it was like being a therapist some days because
dang,
some people like come
Yeah.
in like I need Joni Mitchell's stat or like
yeah, you know, like all walks of life
yeah.
coming through the doors, so you get to be in the center of kind of the wider community.
Yeah.
So people want to like share. Music is very personal.
Yeah.
So people like to share personal things to the people selling the music,
Right.
which is it's great.
Yeah.
It's a great part of the job.
Right. I think you said some days you were like, okay, I get it. Like, what if you're not in the mood
It's
to
like
yeah, right.
Yeah, exactly.
Especially depending on the record they're picking up. Like, okay, you're getting the new Taylor Swift. Okay, you have big feels, whatever. But
Yeah, totally.
not to knock T Swift, whatever, just in case. I really hope she comes on this podcast one day and she's like, in the Good Morning Midnight episode.
You guys are totally gonna
Catching
get
strays out here.
I love it.
Record Collectors, Iowa City's best spot for new and used vinyl, CDs, turntables, and audio accessories. Our staff is well-versed in all kinds of music, with a soft spot for the odd, underrecognized, or lesser-known artists, like Good Morning Midnight. Visit us at 116 South Lynn Street in Iowa City and find your next favorite album.
So you've been playing a lot. We actually, the Host Country, got to play a show with you recently at the Lift. I say recently, it was September. We were touring around with Internet Dating, a really cool band as well. But what's coming up in the new year? What do you got going on?
It's kind of still being determined.
Yeah, still being planned.
We're planning stuff out for the spring.
Oh, nice. Yeah.
Hoping to learn the next record this winter and see what happens.
Gotta learn the part. Sarah's like shaking her head like, yep, gotta work on that. Yeah, right. So there's a new record in the works.
Yeah, I mean, there's a bunch of songs, and
Yeah.
it's time to get people to play them with me.
Yeah.
You know,
Can't just
and
have them
see what
bounce around my
happens
head
from there.
anymore.
Yeah, that's like, I used to have more of a sense of urgency about it, and now it's like when I can't stand it anymore being there, then it's like, all right, time to.
Yeah, it's catharsis
to
that
get
way.
out.
I
Yeah.
experienced that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like if I don't do something creative, I'm going to lose it. Or like, get it out of me.
Yeah.
Get it out of me.
Yeah,
It's
exactly.
an alien moment.
It's literally the same thing.
Yeah. And I feel like you talked about that in an interview about Songs of Violence, like really taking the time. Because I feel that urgency a lot. Like people see you and they're like, when's the next record? Like I even asked that question like a jerk. But art doesn't come in a day. Like, and it can come when it comes. And,
True. Yeah.
you kind of talked about that, like, especially that record, taking the time.
Well, it's interesting because like I don't know. I think it's good to have like a different approach every time. The one we did before, both Neither and Both, Jordan played drums on that too,
Yeah.
and we did one crazy weekend of learning the songs, and then
that was
went straight to the studio.
That was wild. Yeah, I mean, it was kind of like that for both those two first records, the first and second record. But yeah, there was a lot of, because I was in Des Moines and Charlie was in Iowa City at the time, and there was a really limited time to get together and learn stuff, and I wasn't really in like a situation where I could like practice at home or anything.
Right.
So there was just like some really tense like 36 hours of just playing
songs
songs over and over again, and I still feel like on this.
And there was no bassist.
Yeah, it was just the two of us locked in Charlie's bedroom for hours.
Exactly.
Just
Put a drum
slamming.
kit in the bedroom.
Yeah, just slamming pots of cheap coffee and
I made this I bought like hamburger helper mix, but I didn't have hamburger, and I made this like concoction.
Okay.
With it.
Just seasoning and
I don't
rice.
Yeah, I don't remember really. It was
kept us
it was
going.
it was a stew.
It was
But I think, I don't know, you can kind of hear that a little bit, at least from my perspective, like learning, I was kind of learning those songs as I was recording my parts there. Like we did those both at Flat Black, and I listened back definitely and kind of, I sort of can hear myself kind of like what was that? Or going back and
or
thinking
were we like, that was genius?
I think that kind of comes through sometimes when you're put under like a little bit of that stress of like, if you're not 100% locked in, maybe you're kind of doubtful. But I think that stress also kind of makes you reach for stuff that you might not reach for. Yes. And I think there's a couple moments in there where I'm like, oh God, I could have done that better, or I'm rushing, or whatever. And there's a few moments where I'm like, wow, I would not have thought of that if I had spent months playing that song over and over again.
Right.
So I like hearing that in those records, at least from me. But it kind of spreads to the whole package. I hear it in all the parts of the songs a little bit. That kind of urgency.
Yeah, and so I feel that way when you're first writing, like the first practice where you work on a new song, it never gets better than that, right? You're always just chasing. I feel like I talked to Be Well or someone about that of like, you're always just chasing that initial moment of like that spark where it happens and then you all look at each other like, oh yeah, that was it. And now how do we recreate that without it getting stale, without you getting into your own habits and like, you know, I don't know.
Yeah, if you play something enough, you get sick of it regardless of how good it is.
Yeah, yeah. And so keeping it fresh. So that's kind of a fun way to do it. And then did you cut those live at Flat Black as well? Like because they kind of have a setup where it's sort of a live room.
Kind of. There was a lot of different, some songs we had a bassist and like did as a trio.
Oh, yeah.
Some songs we did like pretty extensive overdubs. But I think I actually met Jonah around that time.
Oh, okay.
2017, 18.
Yeah.
He lived in Iowa City too.
Oh, got it. I was wondering, I was like, was this a Minneapolis thing or what? It was that far back?
Yeah, Iowa City, and then I left, and then played a couple shows. Yeah, with Charlie in Des Moines, and then Iowa City, and then got him up in Minneapolis. And,
Squinny, Jonah's band. One of the best bands
I thought
in the
I
Midwest.
recognized you from Squinny. Oh my gosh.
I took a little piece of
good.
Des Moines with me to Minneapolis.
Dude, because I saw you at XPK.
Oh, really? Cool.
And you guys just rocked. So, everyone check out Squinny as well.
Squinny's incredible.
Yeah. I thought I recognized you. Oh my gosh.
So incredible.
Good on me. See, I said I have no memory and I had a tight. You made that much of an impression that I barely remembered you.
And actually, I think I met Sarah around that time too. So it's kind of
Kismet.
kind of just realizing that we all kind of the seed was planted.
Yeah.
Because Jonah didn't get Squinny going until a few years later.
Yeah.
After he was inspired, obviously, by Good Morning, Good Night, of
exactly.
course.
Your
Major
Guitar-based
influencer.
rock has a place in the world still, so I got a band together.
Oh, it's great. No, that's awesome. Okay, this is like, again,
Because I didn't really know about like your musicianship when we met.
Yeah, I mostly
then
did like
slowly,
solo
like-
acoustic guitar stuff when in like 2017, and
Wow.
then
And it's 2024 and we're finally playing together.
yeah.
Yeah, that's
7
wild.
years.
Oh, but you guys are PB&J. It's just
Thanks.
You go together so
I feel
well.
that
It's
way.
really, really good. Gosh, well, and that's what I was gonna say too about that short turnaround of recording. That speaks to your musicianship as individuals, that you could do that and feel good about it, and also just like own, even if it wasn't perfect, just like still bringing it in the studio enough to put it on the record and get out. Like that's a special
That's
thing.
something that that I've learned to maybe not seek out mistakes, but
Sure.
allow them,
for them,
embrace
right?
it. Yeah.
Because it's never as bad as, like, even today recording, I know you mentioned you did a take where you flipped something, and I was like, I couldn't tell. And that I always have to tell
Yeah.
myself that too, of like,
Right.
you're always your harshest critic.
Yeah.
You know, hit a weird note, but it actually still is in the chord, so it's fine. You
Yeah,
know,
it can
like,
end up
no
being
one
like the
knows.
coolest moment in the song.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah. Also
you know,
that.
for
you know?
rock music, I think that's really
Yeah.
important to let that happen.
Yeah. Someone trips over a cable, you just leave it in. You know? Oh, that was sweet. Do it again.
Yeah.
I can't.
Yeah.
And Sarah's amazing. You're the bass player. You keep it down on the low end, and it's so great. It's
Thank you.
wonderful. It's a
Thanks.
great fit. And you sing backup sometimes.
I do.
on
That's
true.
certain songs.
Yeah.
She actually kind of started as like the band photographer. She took the photo of All the Birds Men, the album cover.
Oh,
and
yes.
all of the
Oh, I
photos
love
on
it.
the LP are her photography.
Okay, that's
So
awesome.
kind of like slowly got more and more involved to the point where she's in the band now.
Yeah,
it's been really
that's
fun.
amazing.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
you can't. But now
Just
you don't
kinda
have a
happened.
photographer.
Yeah, it did. Yeah.
Yeah. It's so awesome. And I love the artwork like throughout your albums. I think it's always
Thanks.
great. And I actually wrote down, so I was going back through your YouTube, and you have this great you have a couple like live videos on there and things like that, but there's the video for Sweet Cherry Pie where you just eat a
yeah.
pie with your hands.
Yeah.
I love
Yeah.
it. And then they come in
Talk
like
about
Joe. Was it you? No, it was your
That was Griffin,
Griffin,
who was
yes.
involved with Good Morning Midnight
yeah.
for a long time.
Right.
So kind of like Jordan played
Like
3 different
OG.
instruments
Yeah. Yeah.
along the way.
Yeah, Griffin's
so-
been around since the jump, kind of
Yeah.
like as far as the live band goes.
Yeah. It's just such a fun, like, what I love is there's sort of this beautiful, like, heaviness to your music, but then seeing you eat a pie. And I mean, that song's very sweet, literally, and, kind of has that vibe. And then Sarah walks in and Griffin walks in, they just start playing. It's great.
And we
It's just
actually,
fun.
we had, one pie
Oh, so that was
One chance.
the take.
The sun was going down,
I love it.
and yeah.
You're like,
so-
how do we put the crunch on ourselves? Like, we got to do this.
Right,
Mhm.
speaking of urgency,
Yeah.
there was
Yeah.
such a sense of urgency with
Yeah.
that video. So we had, one chance, one
Mm-hmm.
take.
Fortunately, it's kind of a shorter song, right? It's like,
Yeah,
it's not
it was
Birds Fly
doable.
6 minutes. It's like
Right,
2.5
yeah.
or something. That's the way to like get around that, I feel like.
Definitely.
Then we're only
It's like
watching
less
you
than
eat
2
pie for
minutes.
2.
Yeah.
It's really fun though. So I love like, it's so fun to talk to bands where they have this extra talent, like Sarah taking photos. Like, you just look out when that happens.
It takes
I feel like.
it takes a village.
It does take a village. And when you have the village internally, you don't have to seek more village people. Just hang with your existing.
It's
Yep,
true.
go into it. Oh, everyone's now rocking out to village people in their head.
Back to the studio.
One more take.
But I just love, like, something that I think you do really well is being a true indie band in my mind, which is going to sound really nerdy, but like the videos that you do are very DIY, and like, again, having I mean, the photography you do is amazing. But to me, like, you're a real self-starter in that sense. And, you put out your own records with some backing. Actually, I read, didn't Record Collector kind of help with, was it Songs of Violence? And
Yeah, I've had like kind of communities help springboard
Yeah.
most of them. My friend Tyler, he has a label in Iowa City called Rip in Peace Records.
Yeah.
And
Is that
he-
Tyler, Jimstone Tyler or other Tyler?
Oh,
Tyler.
different
Oh, okay.
Tyler.
I was like, wait. It's like I didn't talk to him about that, but okay, yeah.
And yeah, he
Rip in peace.
helped get All the Birds Men on vinyl.
Oh,
And then before that, Record Collector helped with
Yeah.
Songs of Violence. And before that, Luke Tweedy's label Long Play Records
Yeah.
helped with both, neither and both. So been really lucky
yeah.
to have people like want to, because you can only, everyone wants their music out.
Right.
You can only
Everyone
do so
wants to do
much on
vinyl,
your own.
everyone- yeah,
So,
right.
So having people back it is like a reason, like one of the big reasons to keep doing it.
Yeah. It's like
So-
people don't realize it's like a mortgage where you're like, I could afford the monthly payment, but the down payment is
Yeah.
what, like vinyl, for example.
Oh, yeah,
The
for
upfront
sure.
cost of that is really prohibitive for most bands. So
And
I think
we found like the cheapest possible way on earth to do it, and even then, it's like
Barely possible.
Barely
right,
possible,
even then you're
so-
scraping by.
Yeah.
Right. But it's so, I mean, you guys get this because you all love vinyl. I'm pretty sure each one of you, I know this. Like, there's just something so different about it from the artist perspective of holding your music on a vinyl. Like, it's different. Let
It's the
alone
best way to
listening
listen to
it. It's the
music.
best way. It's just the best.
Yeah.
Yeah. And we just had Molly Branton, who's also up in Minneapolis, and she also worked at a record store.
Nice.
When she moved up there, she worked at Electric Fetus in Minneapolis. So I feel like there's like a through line there of, a lot of musicians end up working at record stores, and then it just like deepens the love for vinyl.
Yeah,
There's
yeah,
no way to.
it's true.
Yeah. You just start like seeing all these old records and all this. Yeah. All this.
It's
great
very
stuff.
it's very informative to
Yeah.
the music creation side
Right.
of things,
Right.
which may seem obvious, but
Yeah.
worth noting. Like
Yeah.
stuff that you would never have found on your own,
Mm-hmm.
just like, and rare but not valuable.
Yes, because that's such a such a good point, because there are things on vinyl that don't exist on the internet.
Exactly, and it's like a
Because they're
$9
not that
album
much.
or something, but it's like
Yeah.
mind blowing. Some
Yeah.
of my favorite music I've discovered that way. That was my favorite part.
Yeah.
Working at Record Collector, and yeah, shout out Bobby and Alyssa.
Yeah.
Great
Yeah.
people. They're my second parents.
Totally. Such a cool store. I feel like they've even, I remember us taking a trip, like we were going through Iowa City, and we dropped off records, for them to sell there. And like, they're just, great for the community. And I feel like, don't they have like kind of a local section there? Like a local
Yeah, they
band
do.
section, which is awesome.
Yeah.
Great way to find new music that way.
Definitely.
So yeah, we need those places to continue to exist.
It's really important, actually.
Yeah. Like, where are all the high school kids going to find their way?
Yeah.
right? Or
For
like
real.
other kids. Yeah. That's awesome. So something I wanted to ask you about too in your writing, like lyrically, I feel like you get a lot of inspiration from literature. Isn't the name of the band a reference to?
So somebody, my friend, like saw it somewhere and then told me that like Quinn Marin.
Oh.
You know Quinn.
What's up, Quinn?
What's up, Quinn? I don't know if he like saw it at a bookstore or something and then just had it in his head.
Yeah.
But like I didn't know about the book when
got
I
it.
chose the
Okay.
name.
That's
and
amazing.
He didn't like present it to me as this is a book. So I don't even really know how it just kind of happened. I don't know.
We actually, the Host Country has a song called Catch Me a Wind. Same thing. We saw it.
Yeah.
We were actually at Ankeny Unplugged, like the festival, and someone had it out. It was like an older book. I haven't read it, to your point.
It's crazy when that happens.
It is.
No,
It's
I
just
haven't read the one that
something-
you're talking about either. Yeah. Like,
Right.
yeah, there's a line in one of my songs that's like an abundance of space. I was playing FIFA a couple years ago, and the commentators in that game, like someone's running on the side, you know, got the ball, I'm like an abundance of space. I'm like, oh, geez, was that in my brain?
Oh my God.
So
Well, and that's what I read that's how, or you had a quote about how you write of like, you have a notebook like this, and on one side it's all those bits. So you'd be like, abundance of space.
I used to do that, but
Yeah.
I don't anymore. And I think I can't reveal the mystery.
It's all just
of
FIFA
it
references
anymore.
now.
'Cause-
Like FIFA only.
Well, when I shared that with the person I was talking to, I couldn't write that way anymore.
Yeah. Oh, the magic
So,
left.
I can't.
Oh, no.
I'm not going to dissect it.
Okay, no, let's not. Heaven forbid, the end of Good Morning Midnight, one of my favorite bands ever, is
Ever
because I
since we
asked too
talked
many
at Trilix.
questions. Oh my God, I would quit.
No,
I'd be
I'm
like,
just
sorry, I can't do this podcast anymore. Can't ruin it. No, but I do that too. I have like a running notes app or, like Google Doc that I use. And it's hilarious sometimes to see just one line that I put down. I'm like, what the hell was I talking about?
for sure.
What does that mean? Or like, other times I'm like, oh, I was really fired up about insert subject here. You can kind of pick up on that.
Yeah.
You
Yeah,
look back and
totally.
you pick through and see what's good, see what's left.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah. But would you say like literature, obviously things in life? Do you write
I
about
feel like I
anything
used
personal?
to be a lot more influenced by literature, like when I was younger.
When I read books.
And the approach was a lot more like literary and scholastic or something.
Right.
And now,
Like book fair.
yeah, exactly.
Book fair core.
Oh my gosh, wait, please write
I get
about the
inspired.
scholastic.
I go to elementary school book fairs, and I just take in the vibes.
Yeah. I feel
Yeah.
like
The smell of new
stickers.
paperback books.
Yeah, books. Yeah.
so good.
Yeah.
Next record.
Actually, it is a great smell.
Next record's
Charlie
a
gets
concept
arrested.
about Captain Underpants. Like,
Yeah.
Oh, man.
Now we're talking.
Yeah, it takes
It's
it
my kind of literature.
takes us back and propels us forward. Just like Captain Underpants. Oh, I love it. Okay, so lyrically we've kind of talked about, but what about how's the songwriting process? Again, Jordan's here. So are you guys still getting together though? Like, are you writing kind of an outline and then you get together and jam it, or what does that look like?
I pretty much will make a demo at home.
Yeah,
The
Yeah.
song is like,
pretty fully formed.
but I've learned to choose people who bring their own thing and let them do their thing
Yeah,
instead of have a death grip on
Right.
every single little part.
yeah.
So I really am excited about what we recorded today because
Yeah.
the stuff that Jonah brings is I hear Squinty in it, but not to the
Yeah.
point where it's changing what the
Yeah,
song
it's not
needs.
no, right. It's
just
additive.
in a good way because I
yeah.
love Squinty. So
Yeah.
it's I don't know if that
mini
makes sense.
Squinty.
Yeah.
Right. It's like you
Just a little-
hear Jonah in it.
Yeah, I hear
Yeah,
Jonah.
it's
Exactly.
right.
Yeah,
Jonah's
that's
flavor.
a great way to put it. Yeah.
That's so true. And I kept asking the video guys, are you getting the tippy taps? And they're like, is that an official term? And I said, yes. You do this great technique where you're just tapping on the top of the guitar.
Yeah, I
it's
get
really cool.
acrylic nails on my right hand for picking.
Oh,
and then
what?
I found that, if
I saw your nail color and I was like, that's dope, but I didn't know.
But if I tap the body of the guitar with the nails, it just, and with a lot of reverb, it kind of, I don't know,
it's so
makes
cool.
a spooky sort of
Yeah.
weather pattern sort of thing.
So
is
you
how
have
I
a
think about
salon in Minneapolis that
I
you
do,
go
yeah,
to and you
yeah.
get one hand done. And you're
Yeah,
the
well,
one
and
hand-
then while I'm there, I just have them paint the other hand so they
Yeah.
match.
For good measure.
yeah.
This is amazing.
Short on the left, long on the right.
No, I dig it. And they're not so long that it's creeping me out. So
Right.
that's good. You know, some guitar players, I'm not going to lie. Sometimes
Yeah.
I'm like, I get it.
The classical thing, yeah. With
Yeah,
like
it's a little too intense. And I'm
Damn, are you
not even
stirring
like
a cauldron with those
genderizing.
hands?
It's not even a gender thing. It's just because there's
it can be alarming.
There's
Which
something
is
about
why,
it.
I don't know. They're black right now, and I feel like it's less alarming even
Yeah.
if they have some color. Like
Yeah,
if it's
yeah.
like your natural nail. Ooh.
Right. Yes. I think that's my point. Oh my gosh.
Yeah, that's way
amazing.
more. That's way worse. Yeah, when it's
Yeah,
just
Yeah.
like
it's natural.
Yeah.
There's something. Yeah.
Dude, yeah, classical guitar
Yeah.
player fingernails are
Yeah,
terrifying.
It's
Yeah.
creepy. Just wait. Next episode, there's a classical guitarist on, and I'm shooting myself.
I
But,
listened to your last
I listened
podcast.
to- you know, in the Good Morning Midnight episode, you
Whole table full of people slandering me for my technique.
like it sounds beautiful.
This
but I
is a
hate
joke.
it. Oh God, so. No, it's incredible, and I think that's something that's so fun when you find. I'm thinking of the first band I played in. They had a song where there's this kind of like lilting, like twinkle, like kind of noise, and it was a cell phone that went off while they were recording that they put an effect on.
That's awesome.
And just left it in. Yeah, and it's that kind of stuff that makes me think of that. You know, like when you come up with incredible ways, like you guys are creating amazing tones with your guitars, but then to go kind of above and beyond that is really fun. Like
Always trying to find a different way to get sound out of a guitar.
Yeah.
It's not like just picking a string.
it's not enough that you guys
That's why
are
I
all
really
just
like
great
playing with
players.
Jonah, because Jordan has always told me I have a Bruce Springsteen right hand.
Yeah.
Is that I mean, in my mind,
Oh,
it's still a
I think it's high
compliment,
praise, but yeah, I
Yeah.
mean, yeah,
That's-
it's
yeah.
really
Ham-fisted.
heavy right picking hand, which I think lends to. I mean, like I mean, I've obviously I played with Charlie for a really long time, but like I know Charlie's sounds so well, and I think so much of that heavy picking hand lends to everything about his sound, and I love hearing that balance with Jonah's
Yeah.
often like kind of more gentle touch, and playing exclusively with your fingers too, like kind of
Yeah.
comes through with that too, and that really brings like a higher contrast. I mean, as someone who's also
Yeah.
played guitar up against Charlie,
Yeah.
too, like you know, like, but still, I can hear a much higher contrast between these two that I think melds really well. And
Isn't it interesting how, like you were talking about his kind of soft touch on it, that's what creates, I think, so much dimension to what you do, because it's not, I mean, and I love two guitars just going at it, you know, hard,
Oh, yeah.
like it's cool.
Totally.
But to me, that's what, like, your sound always feels so full. And I think that's part of it is it's like touching all the spectrum of when you're hearing it, you know, there's like these light bits, and then especially in the song Lucky Penny, I Love It, you just come in real hard on those choruses, and it's like impossible not to move to that, and it's just great. It's great. I'm a big fan of this last record. Of course, Birds Fly, as you know, I've told you only 1,000 times. It's like one of my favorite songs, and I love it because there's 2 words in it. I'm usually like a real... there's 3.
there's the third word. Yeah.
The's a third word. No. I mean, there actually is.
Away.
No, there actually
It's gonna
is.
be
but-
Away. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
and
yeah,
then there's
away.
yeah and oh.
Forgot about that shatter sound. No, I'm just kidding. Yeah, no, I usually I'm very, like, as a vocalist, I tend to be, you know, I like songs with maybe more words in them, and so that's why this song always stands out to me as like something that's so beautiful and just
Thanks. Yeah,
totally. You
used
create
to try
amazing
to, like,
melodies even
Thank
without.
you. I used to try to like cram songs full of all the things I wanted to say, but you know, that's good too. But embracing like the feeling,
Abundance of space.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah. Ensemble, creating a mood is what I'm interested in these days a lot more.
Yeah. Again, such a big fan of that, and it's still so interesting. Like, it makes me think, I don't know if you guys caught the Chris Shireman episode, but you know, he does instrumental music, but you think it's like you think you hear someone singing because the melodies are so good. And I think that's something you do super well is
Thanks.
you're so ambient in so many ways, but then there's still this like through line. Like, again, I had to keep myself from singing along today. I mean, this song had words, Lucky Penny has words, but you know, all your songs I feel like are that, you know. That's why I stand at the back when I see you play live, so I don't bother
Right
people to sing along. No, it's great though. And I wrote down like versatility for sure. you do a lot with dissonance, which I love, and kind of I think you had a comment about like shape shifting, which I love that concept because I think that's something that you do, but you do it like super well.
Thanks.
Different hats, but in a way that's really cohesive.
Thanks.
And all your records reflect that. It's such a journey, like to go back through your catalog, even within
That's cool
an
to hear,
album.
because like as a fan of music, I'm interested in the evolution of artists throughout their career.
It's kind of fun to watch. We often think about Paper Kites, like they started out really folky. We being the host country, we've kind of mirrored their trajectory in a way, and we're just big fans of theirs as well. But that kind of happened, like seeing them folkier, and then they put out this like killer kind of synth-based record, and just this like journey. And I love your albums. It's like happens even within the album. I feel like where you can,
Especially the last one.
yeah.
I think the incohesion, is that a word?
Yes.
The lack of cohesion
It's gonna,
is the cohesion.
Yeah, probably.
on
Lack
it.
of, I like incohesion.
Yeah.
That's probably the title of your next record. I feel
That's
like
not
actually.
a bad idea, actually.
You heard it here first, folks. But it's just so much depth to what you do, and so I'm just really glad you're still making music. It's so cool that
Thanks.
you hooked up with Jonah and again the Squinty crew. They're just awesome. And Jordan, I'm such a big fan of. I've been watching drum forever. There's nothing he can't play. He's an amazing vocalist. It makes me mad. Want to punch him in the face. And Sarah, you're delightful, and you add so much to like the vibe of the band too, which I really appreciate. And you have cool tattoos, and I think
She's
you're
a
awesome.
secret weapon.
Seriously, it's great. And and I'm so like thankful that you guys took the time to come down, from Minneapolis, and well, Jordan just drove like 10 minutes.
I live not too far from this place at all. Yeah, I just drove down the street.
But yeah, I'm so pumped to like help spread your music because I'm truly just such a huge fan. And please come back
Thanks.
to Des Moines and we'll play a show together, and it'll all be great.
Yeah, it's really hard to be a musician right now.
Yeah, it's
and
really
to
hard.
be an original artist.
Yeah.
So it's really, really nice to hear you say these things.
Yeah, I'm just not even BSing you one little bit. Such a huge fan. No, really, you were absolutely on Phil and I's list of like who do we absolutely need to get through here. So I know you recorded at several different places. Keep us in mind. Selfishly, I would love to work on a record with you. But oh wait, I forgot to ask you guys. Okay, I like to ask bands what their road snack is. Like when you're on the road, what's your go-to? You go into the gas station, you pull it off the shelf.
I like Dot's pretzels and York peppermint patties.
Woman after my own heart. Oh, Dot's pretzels are so good.
Yeah,
They're like
crazy good. They're
like
expensive, but they're so good.
Oh, you got to get the big bag. Like
Yeah.
the little bags are a joke. Like
Yeah.
sometimes I'm like, "What are you doing, Dots?"
That's
Like
how they
it's
get you. Yeah.
this one small
Yeah, I'll
bag and then
spend
one big
$12.
bag.
Yeah, it's the cost of a whole entire meal.
Yeah, I don't care. It can be a whole meal if you
Yeah.
put the whole thing down. I mean, it's fair. What about you, Charlie?
I don't know what they're actually called, but those little like crackers. Sometimes they have peanut
Oh,
butter.
yeah.
Oh
in them.
yeah,
'Cause
or
they're like-
cheese.
yeah.
Yeah.
They're like 89
The
cents.
orange
the
crackers.
orange crackers,
orange one.
yeah.
Butter in the-
Yeah, that's gotta
Yeah.
be like the world's oldest gas
Yeah.
station.
Yeah.
Hasn't changed the formula since 1899.
And it's the same packet actually as well.
Oh, gotta be.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, that's what about you, Jordan?
I'm going combos.
Oh,
Probably.
Oh yeah, the pizza combos.
Yeah, I think the buffalo ones are my favorite. I can stand a pizza combo though. I think combos are the secret weapon.
Well, Sarah's the secret weapon, but
Oh.
then combos. I got it. Okay.
Combos right here, Sarah.
Oh,
just,
okay.
Just behind. Yeah,
You gotta
Just
step it
think
up.
of me as
I
a
got-
pizza combo.
I got room in my heart for both.
If I ever were to self-describe it, I'd also say pizza combo. Not that I'm a combo, but I just am pizza and in any combo. What about you? I'm all pizza.
Pizza is everything.
Pizza is everything. Where were you, John?
I really like corn nuts.
yeah.
All right.
Okay,
That's-
I felt
that's valid.
I was
Outlier.
a little yeah.
I
I was
like it.
nervous pitching that, but I'm glad that it was.
I'm so glad you
received
felt
well.
safe enough to tell us that.
You gotta be like the youngest consumer of corn nuts. by, like,
There's
20
something
or
about
30
them.
years.
Is it a texture thing for you?
It's like a texture and like if I'm in the car and I just like have a bag of chips or something, I will inhale it and then I'll blink and they're totally gone. With corn nuts, like
No, you gotta
You
work.
just-
There's a lot of chewing.
Yeah,
There's a lot
it's just like it's an extended release sort of snack.
Yeah. You can get out your aggression with every. Yeah. No, I feel that. I feel that. Thank you guys, seriously, for coming in and sharing your music with us. I hope everyone listens to the 2024 release, All the Birdsmen. This is Lucky Penny. Check it out.
Hit it, boys.
Sister, can you help me? I got something on my mind. I'm an ordinary guy, and I know that you are tired. But sister, hear me out. I found a lucky penny, and I think I'm leaving town. Think I finally got it down.
In the Round is produced and recorded at Trilix Studio. Remember to subscribe to In the Round wherever podcasts are found.
Evil